In this video, we're going to be taking a look at why I believe the UK house price crash is accelerating. I've got a really interesting experiment that you can run yourself on Rightmove to verify this. So make sure you stick around for that. Just before I get to that, just very quickly, we've just had the latest HPI from Halifax, and month on month, they are showing negative 0.3%. Now, for the past few months, they've been showing monthly increases. So it's interesting to see Halifax are now reporting negative again. And this is on the heels of Nationwide reporting a month-on-month increase after 7 months of decline. So it shows you shouldn't read too much into the monthly figures. You're looking for the overall trend. And when you map them both together here, you can see both Halifax and Nationwide together. Things are coming down very fast. And we're at the point now where basically we've got no annual growth if you believe Halifax, because Halifax are reporting 0.1% annually. And Nationwide are showing 2.7% down annually. So we know that the growth has completely gone from the market, and Nationwide, of course, is showing that actually prices are falling more. It's not just a case that the growth has gone, prices are actually going down now. So annually, prices are at least flat or in decline. The big question now is how far down are they going to go? And I think we're just getting started and things are starting to hot up. So I want to take you over to Rightmove and show you an interesting experiment that you guys can run yourself to see what is happening in your own area. And the reason I want you to do it for your own area is hopefully you've been tracking your own area. So you know how things have been over the past few months or the past couple of years. So you have some very strong anecdotal evidence as to how your local market is holding up. So the first thing I want you to do is to pop in the location that you want to run this experiment on. So I'm going to pop in Kent, which is where I used to live. And I lived there for 38 years before I moved to the country last year. So pop in the area that you know best. I then want you to leave the price filters empty. Don't do anything with them. Same with the bedrooms. But I do want you to do the property type. So I want you to tick detached, semi-detached, terraced, and bungalow. I don't want land or park home included or flats, as they can distort prices, but also sometimes with flats, you'll see multiple flats come on from a single building, and that can distort the overall figures. And then in the filter section, I want you to not show new homes, because that can have the same issue as flat. Lots of new homes from one developer flood in the page, and take out retirement home and buying schemes, as often that leads to duplicate listings. But other than that, there's no other filters. We're just trying to clean up the results a bit for this to work. So on the Rightmove desktop view, you'll see 25 results per page. And I've gone through and counted this manually so you guys don't have to. If you are viewing this on a different device, the count may not be 25, so make sure you verify it before you use the method that I'm going to show you. So what we're trying to establish is how many of these properties have actually been reduced. Now, if you guys were watching your local area over the past year or two, seeing a reduced property was quite a rare sight. But to be honest, it is a bit of a bloodbath on Rightmove at the moment with the amount of reductions that we are seeing going on. That is one other thing you need to do in the sorted by section here. Make sure you choose newest listed, as that will then list the properties that have either been added or reduced at the very top. So we've got 25 results on this page. So if we do Control F, which is what you can do on Windows, it'll be slightly different on Mac. So depending on which operating system you're using, use the relevant shortcut. And then I want you to type in added. So this will show you all of the new listings. Now, if a listing is reduced, it won't say added, it will say reduced. So we can see 13 of the 25 listings are new listings. And the others, there should be 12. Yeah, 12 have been reduced. So out of 25 listings, 12 have been reduced. Now you can do this for the first few pages. I did this on Twitter and I just said to people, do the first 50 results. But let's do the first 100 for this particular area just to see what we get. So just press enter again on there. So we've got 16 reduced on that second page. So 12 and 16, and go to page 3 and do it again, press enter again. Another 16 reduced on this particular page, and then on to page 4, because that will take us to 100 listings. Overall, we've got 10. So we had 2 lots of 16, so that's 32. Add on that 10, that is 42. Add on the 12 from the first page, that is 54. So out of the 100 first listings, or the 100 most recent either new or reduced listings on Rightmove for the Kent area, which is a massive area with 12,000 properties, 54 out of 100 have been reduced. Over half of the properties have been reduced. Now, if someone had told me that 12 months ago, I would have thought they were crazy. So actually seeing this happen now, to me, is a massively strong indicator that sellers are starting to become more realistic about what is happening in the housing market, and they're starting to reduce their price. Maybe they're starting to feel those first feelings of desperation. Now, some people might be watching this going, but Darren, Rightmove reported in their latest HPI that new seller asking prices are actually up 0.2% last month. So how can there be all of these reductions if their asking prices are up? Well, the most important thing is new seller asking prices. So this only applies to new listings. It does not apply to anyone that has been selling for a week or two or longer and has reduced their price. Also, keep in mind with all of these reductions that I'm showing you, this doesn't take into account the sellers that have changed agent and reduced price, because if you've gone to a new agent, it will show up as added as a new listing. It won't show that you've actually reduced the price. So that could be that more than 54 of these 100 properties have actually seen their prices been reduced. So in my opinion, this, to me, is the strongest indicator we're going to see until it catches up in the house price indexes over the next few months. This is the strongest leading indicator that the UK house prices are struggling and the crash, in my opinion, is accelerating. Now, another thing I just wanted to touch on briefly is in some of the HPIs, such as Halifax and Nationwide, the data has been a bit confusing. We've seen Halifax reporting month-on-month increases for a few months, and even Nationwide went positive month-on-month last month. What I think is happening is from the areas I'm watching, and again, this is just anecdotal evidence and my own feel from watching Rightmove and what goes sold and what doesn't, is the properties that are selling at the moment are the quality properties. If a good property comes up that's in a good location and it is well done inside, I'm still seeing them sell. What I'm seeing struggling is your average run-of-the-mill property that has no distinguishing feature, that isn't priced super cheap or anything like that. They're just not selling. Your average property is not selling at the moment, but the good stuff is selling. Now, in my opinion, the good stuff generally commands a slightly higher price than the market average. So if the only stuff that's selling is the good stuff, maybe that is distorting the prices a bit more and isn't maybe painting a clear picture of what is happening or is actually happening in the market, which to me, the market, the bottom is falling out of the market. You know, there seems to be no demand for average properties. There is only demand for exceptional properties. And maybe that is why the HPIs aren't quite reflecting what we're seeing on Rightmove. You know, with places like Kent in the southeast where over 50% of properties, I know this is a very, very small sample, and if you could do this for another area and the results might be completely different. But if over 50% of properties are being reduced, that is a very strong signal in my mind that the market is only heading in one direction. So run this test yourself. Like I say, I tweeted about this a week or so ago. So if you're not following me on Twitter, follow me at Darren the Degen. I post out stuff like this all the time so you guys can do your own research into the housing market and make your own decisions. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, make sure you scroll down and hit the like button. If you want to see more from me, subscribe to the channel. And if you want to see how big I think this house price crash is going to be, I'm going to pop up a video in front of me now and I'll see you guys over there.